All right, well, let's just get right off to it.
You sound really trebly.
Yeah, I'm wearing a headset.
Oh, how come?
Um,
I thought you got
because
your new
no,
blue Yeti.
I didn't get it. I just ordered it just now because
Oh,
I'm selling my other gear, um, and I was going to try to sell it before I bought the Yeti, but then I was like, "Fuck this! No one wants this shit." So I'll
your
just buy
other
another microphone.
your other podcast gear. Well, you've got an expensive Rode microphone.
Yeah, I know, but
Somebody will buy that shit.
no, no, no. I'm not putting a lot of work into it though. I gotta say,
Did you list it on Gumtree?
eBay.
eBay. Okay. Well, I sell everything locally, so I use Kijiji, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah,
A little easier.
no, and I mean, oh, it's you.
It's not me.
Yeah. What?
That wasn't me.
Well, it was your text that you sent me.
Oh, you've got it set for like Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
Sounds. Oh, that's,
because
that's nice.
I could take my learner's plate off my motorcycle yesterday because I passed my open test.
That's a big day for a lot of 16-year-olds.
Well, I look the part. I look the part.
Uh-oh.
I
I
had to
lost you
cough.
there for a second. Oh.
I coughed. So my children are home. My wife just got home. This was planned. We were going to do this about an hour ago, and then my computer died. Yeah,
I'll tell
it's
you what
because
else
of
has
you.
happened.
It's because of you, listeners, that I can't afford the computer because
I see.
we don't have any Patreons.
That's true. That's true. It's hard. It's a self-actualizing failure cycle on our part because we sound bad, and it's a low-quality podcast because we don't have any money. But that means that nobody likes it enough to give us money
Yeah.
to put towards making it sound better.
Well, also, I mean, like, it's forgivable to have poor quality when the content is excellent, but we also fall on that point as well.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have a lot of quality content. Now, I just got an email that
We don't have any quality content.
I got an email that you reset the password for Cast. Is
Yeah,
that-
forgot the password. It's been a while. We're on season 27 now. But
It has
yeah,
been. It has been a little while. It's the last one we did, I think, was before Christmas. Were you home? Is that the last time we did a podcast?
I don't know. I honestly don't even remember.
I think it's been
I
like
don't
3
even-
months. It was,
Oh,
it might have been
at
Halloween.
least.
It might have been after Halloween. So welcome back.
John
We had,
Galloway sent me a message.
Oh yeah, what's John?
He was on that episode, and that we never really released.
We
because
didn't
it was
release it. Yeah.
dreadful. But yeah, he was like, "When are you guys going to do another episode?" So, I mean, at
So
least
here's your answer, John. Right now.
now is the time.
We have a lot of appeal to homesick individuals from New Brunswick who are in New Zealand. So if you
Just
get
wanna...
if that fits you,
Oh, I've found a hack that now I can watch live global TV, and I was all excited because I was like, "Oh, yay! I can watch the news from the Maritimes." And I turned it on, and it was like fishing 24 hours. And I was like, fishing's great. I love fishing, but watching
there's lots
other
of fishing
people
on
fish,
YouTube.
but
Yeah.
watching other people fish, it's not that exciting.
I watch a guy. He's called Thresher Fishing, and he's in Texas and Corpus Christi, and I watch him to help me go to sleep because it's hard to find stuff. Like usually it's either that or a MythBusters episode, but it's hard to find stuff that isn't going to be like upsetting or have music that's going to give you nightmares. So I always have. That's a good testament to my sex life. I always have a fishing show on when I go to bed every night.
Yeah, I bet Chrissy loves that.
Yeah, well,
one of
she's
my
been
friends,
asleep for
how I'm
about
a
2 hours
fan-
by the time I get to bed.
you know, um, that I'm a huge fan of ASMR.
Yes.
Like I listen to it all the time. Well, one of my friends on Instagram posts stories all the time. And it's just like she travels the world. She's in Dubai or something at the moment. And she has the most soothing voice. She's talking about, like, I wish that the people in Dubai would stop smoking or something like that. But I was
Yeah.
listening to it and I was like, this is the most relaxing thing I've ever heard. She's got like this really calm voice. And so now I see if I can find her stories, and it's kind of creepy because a lot of people think that ASMR is like sexual, but
Yeah.
it's not unless you're like spanking to it. I guess you could make anything sexual.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to tell her, I was going to be like, "Oh my gosh, your voice is so good. You should do ASMR." And then I was like, "No, she'll think I'm a creep."
Yeah. That sounds really weird. Your voice is so good. I want to whack off to it.
Yeah, do you think you could just do a few stories just for me?
Can you just whisper
No.
really quietly into the microphone? I'm just going to measure your inseam now.
Stop.
Oh, just let me. I just need to touch your zipper for a second.
The ones, okay, so listener, the ones that I would recommend would be Marno, Marno ASMR, and GB ASMR, Goodnight Moon ASMR. Those are my top threes. So you should go onto YouTube and just check it out and see if you like them. And maybe you'll be like, okay, yeah, it's not crazy. This is relaxing. Or maybe you'll be like, this is the most annoying and oddest thing ever.
Or maybe you'll be like, why my dick so hard?
Did I pee my pants?
Oh, fuck's sake. So, one of the reasons I delayed today was that Jack is in this phase that he steals all of the electronics in the house and hoards them in his room in a bunch of bins. Like, not just stuff that's useful to him.
Bizarre.
He took my microphone and it was in a bin in his room. He took Chrissy's headphones, all of our USB keys,
I
and
mean,
my
I don't want to
external
be.
hard drives from when I was in college.
I
Yeah.
don't want to cast any foreboding on the situation, but that was like a big scene in Harry Potter, and Lord Voldemort, as a child, was hoarding a whole bunch of other people's treasures.
Other people's electronics. Maybe Jack made a Horcrux of my 8 GB hard USB 2 key.
We were wondering where his friend went. Murdered.
Yeah. His soul has been divided into my USB key. Even
It's precious to me now.
even the magical world of wizardry portrayed in the Harry Potter novels doesn't really come anywhere close to what we're doing with like iPhones. You know,
Well,
like they can go to the soccer game by like getting in a chimney and saying Diagon Alley and putting some powder on their feet. But I mean, we can just watch it on our phone. And like
you know
it's
what?
like you're flying there on a broom right alongside the player with the ball the whole time.
the okay, shower thoughts. So you're in the shower
Yeah.
and you're like, your mind just goes blank, and all of a sudden you're thinking about things that you would never think about.
Like putting your finger in your bum with shampoo on it. I wonder if the shampoo makes it slippery enough that I could just slide it in and inspect my No! Ow!
Oh, it stings.
Oh, I think I got a fissure.
No, I was thinking that we kind of this is so stupid. But we have so back in the dark ages, like there were magicians who could do magic and stuff like that, but some of that magic was just like making electricity and shit. And I think all of this stuff is like magic, but we get so used to it and we know how it works that it's not like considered magic, it's considered science.
Well, if you went back to like 1970 and you whipped out an iPhone and started watching videos of people, I don't know, fishing or whatever, they would think you were
Speaking of
some sort of
fishers,
sorcerer. The
right?
Fisher episode.
Yeah. So I was thinking that. It was like, oh yeah, turn my lights on, make light happen. I didn't
Even in
have to
the
say
80s.
I didn't have to say Lumos Maxima.
But you could use the clapper. That's like magic. Light comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, but you're right. It's just science to us. Although it is mind blowing, and I can't explain how any of it works.
No,
Explain
of course
Wi-Fi. No,
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 cannot.
can't. Yeah.
No.
You know what's weird
Um,
though? We got Wi-Fi, but we can't charge shit without plugging it in. That surely is going to be the future.
well,
We can't always need shit plugged in.
well, but we can with those little not QR, but QC chargers. You don't have to.
Yeah, but then the QC charger has to be plugged in. It's not really.
Well,
It's
I
not
know,
really
but
helping.
if you were like putting like radio waves that strong through the air,
That
enough to
could
just
vibrate
keep
a battery. Yeah.
that we would just like we would melt. It
You
would
know,
be
I'm going to give you a grim prediction of the future. I think this is peak human, what we've achieved now. And because everyone's like, oh, the forest fires in Australia were caused because you used fucking plastic or because you drive a car to work, we're just going to gradually regress. Everything's going to be made out of wood. A whole bunch of people are going to die every time it gets cold outside. And like, I don't know, 50 years from now, there will be, what are there, 7 billion people in the world? 50 years from now, there will be like 2 billion. And then another 50 years, it'll be like the Middle Ages. There will be like 100 million people on the
I
earth,
know,
and
but
then they'll all die of the plague.
there was probably like a guy not on a podcast, but maybe in a local radio show that said, they're taking arsenic out of the pressurized wood, and I reckon this is the pinnacle of the human race. We're going to start going backwards. They're going to start taking DDT out of our bug spray next.
They're just, every time I go on there and I see people bitching about plastics, and I'm like, you're doing that on a computer, you fucknut. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Do you think your computer's made of fucking wood and celery? It isn't. It's made of fucking silicon and plastic, and it takes a lot of shit to put into it. But and the list of things that are bad for the environment. I mean, because it's such a big industry, making people feel guilty about their environmental footprint, that now the list of things that's bad for the environment includes everything. They're like, oh, Netflix is worse for the environment than the Alberta tar sands. They're just trying to find a way of putting a new tax on it or taking it away. And it's all going to be gone. We're not going to be allowed to heat our homes. All the Canadians will die. And yeah,
Well,
that's my grim prediction.
But you are an optimist, so it could happen sooner than what you think.
Well, Greta tells us we only have 11 years left now. Anyway, and she went to school. She's got a grade 8 education, so we should listen to her.
I mean, she does give me the shits, but
She's a scientist. Or oh wait, no, sorry, she's a high school dropout. Same thing. We should all listen to her.
I feel like it's good to have an awareness of the wastefulness that we have as a
Make the world better.
race.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do things
But-
better. But with a view of like, I like the Elon Musk version of like, okay, well, if burning gasoline is bad, let's make an electric car, but let's make it faster than a gasoline car. Let's make it
Yeah,
cooler.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, like-
that's cool. I like
Yeah.
that idea. But she's not saying that. She's like, how dare you heat your home? Fuck you.
Yeah. Notice that she's not in Germany for the winter.
At the risk of being exactly what they're hoping would happen, like old white guys who are criticizing a teenage girl who's supposed to be beyond criticism, let me just say, fuck everything that she's saying, because it's ridiculous. We would die if we turned off the heat. We would die.
Well,
How dare you use oil to power your homes? I'm not making the power plant, you fucknut. What am I supposed to do? If they can somehow make power out of fucking snow and ice, then yeah, we'll switch over.
Well, couldn't they?
that's not-
Okay, so back to eating our member berries. Remember when we were at Disney World or Epcot Center, and we went to Innovations, and they had that Hummer that ran on water, and it turned the water into hydrogen, and then it consumed the hydrogen from the water.
Oh yeah, electrolysis.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Yeah,
Why don't,
because it takes a huge amount of battery power to electrolyze water to split it into hydrogen and oxygen. So if you're using that much battery power, it's cheaper to use it to turn the wheels of the car, like
right.
Tesla does, as opposed to splitting molecules. Nonetheless, hydrogen was cool. I mean, but now I don't know if you saw it, but there's a new Hummer coming out. that too. There's a new Hummer coming out. That's 1,000 horsepower, all electric. That's cool. That's what I mean. Like that's the kind of thing that would make me go, oh shit, maybe I'll get an electric car someday.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like, okay, you need to stop having a good car. You need to have an electric car that can barely get you to work.
Yes.
It's going to strand you there all the time.
Yeah.
But it's environmentally
Exactly. Well, it gets
friendly.
you from
Because
A to B.
I'll stop on the side of the highway in the winter and I'll die.
It gets you from A to B, but I want to get to D.
But not back to A. Exactly.
So, as per the usual format of this podcast, I've decided that I won't prepare anything, and you can do all the work.
Oh.
Now, the last time we spoke, you were going to discuss people getting stuck in chimneys. Now,
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I wrote notes on that. I forgot all about that.
'tis the season. Merry February.
I was...
Nothing says people getting stuck in chimneys like Black History Month. So, let's have it.
I forgot all about that.
Black History Month?
No,
Typical.
I celebrate that every year. All month, each night we read some Black History. I don't know. That's gonna go to a bad place, and it's stupid. No. I forgot that I did the chimney one. I also did another one. I gotta sneeze here. Just a second. I can't mute.
I mean, you can mute. You can mute. You just click the mute button on the computer, but it's okay. We'll let it slide this one time.
I was worried I would just turn off the whole podcast if I hit the wrong button.
It's quite possible. You got a new computer for the last podcast.
This is another new computer because that computer broke. Because Jack took all this fucking electronics off it while it was running, and I could never get it to run again. He must have broken the inputs.
Eat
Anyway,
the rich. A fucking hard rain is gonna fall, my friend.
Well, I returned it. I mean, I'm not... I have the same new computer, just that I had to return the old one. I think he must have broken a USB input on it or something, but I don't know. We won't say that. It just was dysfunctional. Anyway.
We won't say that. He spilled water and acid on it, but I mean, it came out of the box that way.
Yeah. I jerked off into it when I was watching internet porn.
Failure out of box. But sir, there's a lot of sticky jam. Is this jam?
I think it's thermal paste.
Did you eat a Mars bar over this?
Must be the thermal paste. Anyway, so I prepared another one. Holy shit, we haven't done one of these since way before Christmas, I realized, because the other one I was going to talk about was the Mummer murders in Newfoundland.
Oh, yes. Those people with the crazy faces.
Yeah, but we never... You know what? I'll save it for next Christmas. Fuck it.
Was it a Christmas-related one?
It was, yeah. The Mummers are at Christmas.
Oh.
I was... I will give you a bit of a backstory on that. So I went to school in Newfoundland for a couple of years. And my first year there, I didn't know about Mummers. I didn't know fucking anything about it.
Did Stan Rogers do a song about them? No, that's the Morris Dancers.
Yeah. I knew what you were thinking of. But so what happened was I was in this basement apartment, and there was this knock on my door. It was like December 27th, I think. I'd just gotten back. I'd been home for Christmas and came back for school. And I opened the door, and like 40 people came into my apartment, my basement apartment, and they were all wearing masks, and I couldn't tell who any of them were. And they were like wearing like all these old women's clothes and hospital gowns, like stuffed with
Did you
pillows.
think it was going to be like an eyes
And
wide shut situation where you're like, all right,
I didn't. I had
come on
not.
in.
I had not a clue what was happening. One guy brought a ghetto blaster. They started playing Newfoundland music. They ate everything in my house. They drank all of my liquor, and then they left.
They
and
did
I still don't know
bukkake
who
over
it
my
was.
computer.
They held me down, and somebody dressed as the magical Mr. Mistopheles raped me. I've heard that before somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where it was. Got to be Family Guy or South Park or something. But what got me thinking of that was this new Cats movie that looks so fucking stupid.
I mean, it only looks stupid if you're thinking that it's going to be actual cats, but they've just made it like the musical, right?
The musical's absolutely fucking terrible.
But
There's no story. Cats the musical. The story is, look at this cat. He sings a song. Here's another cat. He sings a song.
It's based
Here's a
on
different
like,
cat.
poetry by some guy I can't remember. And
I would say it's based on Andrew Lloyd Webber took a couple of hits of acid, cranked this thing out over like one evening.
It's like a legitimate story by I'm looking it up for heaven's sakes. Cats.
Listen, that I don't dislike musicals. Some I really like. Oliver Twist, The Pirates of Penzance.
Old Possum's Books of
Fucking
Practical
Cats.
Cats by T.S. Eliot.
Yeah, no, you know what? T.S. Eliot should have stopped at, what was the other one he did?
Maybe.
Alice in Wonderland? I can't remember.
I think he was pretty whacked anyway. But
well, it was hard when you were gay in the 1800s.
I don't know. I don't know if it was hard to be gay in the 1800s, but
maybe in the 1700s. I think you had to.
I mean, according to Game of Thrones, it was pretty commonplace.
Game of penises.
Game of Bones. Game of Boners.
Every episode. Game of Bones. I watched the first episode because you and Dad were so into it. I was like, maybe I'll give it a try.
What?
Not for me. It's like
yeah,
violence and penises.
No.
But I couldn't. I mean, the story obviously is going to have a ton of characters. They're going to kill almost all of them by the time we get through the first season.
Watch it. Oh my gosh, though. You know what you do have to watch? Avenue 5.
What now? Okay, where's
television.
that on? I don't have television.
I don't know what channel it's on because I get it on Foxtel. But it's got the guy from House.
It's a nightly news program. It comes on at 5 o'clock. They literally tell you everything that happened that day.
And it's
in
live.
Brisbane.
It's live at 5. No, it's got the guy from House. And
Welcome to Avenue 5.
It is so funny. It is hilarious. And they're trapped in space, but it's not like Star Trek or anything like that. And it's just everything goes to shambles, and it's really funny.
I had to. This is speaking of shitty. I'm criticizing Cats. Listen to this because I'm going to end up getting criticized a lot. So I submitted a book. First of all, my book Grantrepreneurs did not get published.
Oh, what?
The guy was like, no. I know, it's shocking. I went and I wrote a book about the exploitation of grants, like by pretending that you're doing something about climate change, but really you're just getting a government grant and paying yourself. And that's essentially how our entire country works. And then I submitted it. This guy was like, oh, I'm really interested in this. He looked at it, and I went and looked at his like Twitter profile, and it was like everything about the environment, everything about women's rights, everything. And I realized this publisher is a grantrepreneur, and I've given him a book about the exploitation of grants, which is how he makes his living.
Why don't you get a grant to get it published?
That would be hilarious, and I thought about that. But I don't think I could because nobody is going to give a grant to an old white guy who frankly is just bitter about the Grant Stucking. Anyway, so I had written a different book, and it was 3 chapters. One chapter was called Sarson's Dog, and the guys at Hemming's house got this grant, or they're in a competition for a grant to get money to make a movie written locally. And so they called me and said, "Can you turn that into a screenplay?" They called me on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Well, I've never written a screenplay. I don't know how to write a screenplay. I have no idea what I'm doing." I said, "I will learn how to write a screenplay. I'll do lessons. I'll take some classes, and then I'll do it for you." They were like, "The thing is, we need it by Friday." So every night this week, from midnight until 4 a.m., I've been writing a screenplay. I finished it this morning. I'm sure it's fucking terrible. But you keep an eye out for it. And if Sarson's Dog is as bad as Cats, then I could have made Hollywood movies for a living.
Here's a question. Didn't you write an entire
I'm running out of scotch.
while sitting on the can? Oh.
That was Entrepreneurs. That was that book.
Okay.
You know what? I still love that book. Of everything I've written, I'm not proud of any of it except for that one book. I wrote it, and I laughed
one.
the whole time I was writing
really
it, laughing like a
one.
maniac in the bathroom. Nobody would publish that now. I wrote it before The Walking Dead came out.
Well, I know, and
That's
then
how old that is.
I was watching an episode of The Walking Dead, and I was like, "Ha, that's where Jake got this idea." But no, it's just.
I wrote it like 4 years before that came out. It's just there's only so much you can do with zombies. But now, when last time you were here, we went to see
Double Tap.
a zombie movie, didn't we? Zombieland. Yeah, yeah, that was fun. That was good.
That was
Man, I miss it. I love it when you're here.
We went to. It was almost out of the theaters. No, it. Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
we were
I
like
don't
the
know
only
how
people in the
popular
theater, I
it
think.
would have been anyway, but yeah, we went to Zombieland while it was. Yeah.
It had Emma Stone in it. Emma Stone.
She's got
so
a funny
pretty.
mouth.
Man. Could.
Well.
And her weird eyes too, but it's like Uma.
It's
kind of like
1992.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, not current Uma. Uma now probably looks like an old
just looks like
melted candle.
a regular mom.
You know, the eyes just keep getting further apart.
She has like a full 360-degree line of vision,
like a flounder.
I don't know.
Is flounder the right one?
But any fish, really, because their eyes are on the side, unless it's a puffer fish.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you know what's new since we talked?
Oh,
We adopted a dog. Yeah. And it's the worst dog. It's so funny. She's got great temperament. She's really nice.
Oh my god.
She does bite. But she doesn't chomp down. She'll like bite your hand and move it to the part of her body she wants you to scratch.
Oh, well, we both got dogs.
But, I'm like, "No,
Because
Stella,
I got
don't
the
do that.
whippet.
People think you're..."
My dog's a piece
Oh, yeah,
of
you got
shit.
one too.
It's
That's right.
It's dug through the top of my bed. Like my bed, not its bed.
Oh, wow.
It was burying
It
not
dug
into the mattress,
through
but
the
ripped all
mattress.
sheets. Yeah, it stopped shitting on the
Fucker.
floor inside, but now it shits on the deck because it's raining.
Yeah, no, I hate that. I hate the deck shits. We this dog ours came from Nicaragua, and I think
Why
it's
did you
in
get a
Central
dog from
America.
Nicaragua?
Like it's cocaine. Well, so here's the story. It was a stray dog in Nicaragua. It'll all make sense. And its mother, they assumed its mother, got hit by a car. So there were like 3 puppies. This lady who owned a hotel in Nicaragua, like a resort type hotel, let all the puppies live on the resort. They just ran around. They were like wild dogs, but they were, these kind of small, cute dogs. And then a lady in the States fell in love with it, with this one. So she smuggled the dog into the States, but couldn't. No, she paid to bring the dog to the States. Couldn't keep it. And this other lady, Pam, fell in love with the dog in the States when this lady put it up on for adoption or whatever. It was in the Maine SPCA or whatever. So she adopted the dog from Canada, brought it here, but her dogs attacked it and broke its tail, and then she had to give it away. And she is related to my business partner Peter, and Peter was like, "Hey, are you guys looking for a dog?" I said, "Oh yeah, well, we'd been on a list for a purebred, whatever the Brittany Spaniel, and then the lady wouldn't give us one without docking its tail, and I didn't want it with the docked tail because A, it's cruel, and B, I didn't want to walk around a dog's asshole all the time." And so he was like, "Man, I got this dog at my house. You guys should come see it." And fuck, the lady brought it to our house, and then of course Jack fell in love, and it was our dog. She never picked it up. She was like, "Why don't you hang out with her for a day and just see how it goes?" And then she called us and she was like, "So I'm back in Moncton."
There are much easier ways to adopt a dog. And
yeah, it wasn't an entertaining story,
well,
but it's just a weird story about how we got
I'm
our
all
dog.
about saving the dogs, right? I mean, that's my whole life.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there are local dogs that need saving.
There aren't many in St. John. There was nothing at the SPCA. It's all cats. So we, because that was my first thought too. But this dog, now she's part of the family, but she has a few tendencies that remind you that she was a homeless Nicaraguan dog. So one of them is that if you give her a treat like anything to eat, and she's not super hungry at that time, she'll go bury it somewhere either in the house or in the garden outside. So what she's done now, she digs up all the house plants, and they're all full of like rawhide bones and milk bones. Fuck. They're all buried in the house plants. And then in the middle of the night, she'll get up and re-dig up the houseplant looking for the bone that she buried there. And she buries stuff in your laundry, so you have to if you do a load of laundry, you have to pick individual things out because otherwise you're going to wash a rawhide with all your clothes and ruin all. I've done that once. And she howls louder than a coyote. It is the loudest bark I've ever heard in my life. She's probably 11 pounds. She's a small dog. She in the middle of the night, no matter what, if you wake her up, she goes. Oh, there she goes.
Oh my gosh.
And she does it because I think she assumes if something's woken her up, it's like a challenger for whatever rawhide she's buried nearby or a predator. So she makes this noise. And when you let her out at night, she goes to the neighbor's house and does it because she can't stand that there are people in their houses sleeping. So anyway, and she also poops like a lot. She poops mostly, and she's pretty good about being outdoor trained. But if she gets an upset tummy, which she had the other night, she came down. She came down in my TV room and pooped. It was like a wormhole from another dimension. She pooped more than her own body weight on the floor in about 30 different piles. Unbelievable.
I hope that she's been wormed and stuff because you'd get some nasty infections from Nicaragua. You'd be like, "Jack, don't pee in the bathtub. Hey. One of those fucking Amazonian worms will crawl up your dick."
Crawl up your dick hole. They live in our house
thanks,
now.
Stella.
It's just yeah. She's always scratching. Like I was like, oh, she must have mange, but I can't find any. She's just always scratching everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway,
it gets better in like 10 years because that's what I'm holding out for with my new dog. I got one of those collars that electrocutes them. In 10. It doesn't train them, but it certainly makes me feel better.
Mine. So we got the one that electrocutes them if they run off.
Yeah, we've got that.
If they go out of the yard.
Yeah.
But I want one that electrocutes her when she howls like a coyote, just at night.
Yeah, you need one of those remote ones.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. My friend Tristan Flynn, I'm not supposed to say his last name, but actually no, he markets himself anyway as the dog guy. But he's like, they're cruel and unusual. Never use those collars. And I don't want to say it, but him saying that was what raised my awareness that those collars exist and that I could buy one and use it to stop my dog from barking. So
thank you, Tristan.
When they say there's no such thing as bad advertising or bad marketing, it's true, because if Tristan hadn't said, gone on a tirade about these bark collars, I'd be like, I would have never thought there was a collar that could electrocute your dog for
Do you
barking.
remember how
But
good he
since
was
there
at
is,
fencing?
I'm definitely getting
Do you
one.
remember how geeky we were when we used to do fencing? And Tristan was so good at
That was fun.
I know it was so fun. It was like, that was good fun.
Put your kids in fencing.
No.
Not fencing stolen items. Sorry, I'm chewing an ice cube.
Yeah, it's
Because I
gross. I don't know how you do
don't
that.
have.
I've got a fucking weird ass tooth that has an invaginated tooth root, and all it does is give me pain.
It's
And-
probably just a dental carie from not brushing enough.
No, I went to the dentist and he took X-rays, and he was like, "Yeah, it's really I couldn't do a root canal on this one. You're probably gonna have to get it pulled or go to a specialist." That's like
You have an invaginated tooth.
root.
Vagina dentata. Actually, it'd be dentata vagina.
Yeah. I thought Aaron was the only one with a toothy vagina, but turns out I've got one in my mouth all along.
Oh, believe me, kids, if you're not married yet, they're all toothy.
So what have we got in store for us today in terms of a treat of the paranormal?
Well, as we said, mummers, that's out. People stuck in chimneys next Christmas. What happened was shower thought.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about all those green rooms in New Brunswick, like they're where you buy medical marijuana or you buy the supplies
I was like,
for marijuana.
backstage.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was trying to think of a topic for today's podcast, and I thought of Vlad the Impaler, but I was like, wouldn't it be funny if you made like a nebulizer for smoking pot and you called it Vlad the Inhaler?
Ooh.
I bet you can market it and have like little like horror motifs on it, and people would buy that shit because they're all stoned. They don't.
Yeah. And
don't
like
know
when
what
you
they're
put it
doing.
in your mouth, you get fangs.
Yeah, all the emo kids would buy it.
I don't understand what those
Oh,
green
Brendan.
rooms do, because the one above, like around our place, it's like a BYO bring your own pot.
I don't understand it either, to be honest. I don't know what the first of all, the government is supposed to be the only people selling the
I know
pot,
they can't sell it. That's what I
and-
mean.
and they're selling it so expensive that nobody's buying it from them. What I imagine it is the green rooms are like, oh, bring your own pot. It's like a lounge where
Well,
we all sit around and
yeah,
smoke it.
that's what I
But
think it
really,
is.
then you get there and you're like, can I buy some pot? And they're like, yeah, you can buy some pot.
Yeah, probably.
Of course you can buy some pot. How do you think we stay open? It'd be like going to McDonald's and saying, can I buy a burger? Yeah, you can get a burger.
Sorry, this is a lounge. It's BYO Burger.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'm going to do Vlad the Impaler, Vlad the Third.
Okay.
And, all right, so buckle up because this is boring. And I'm going to pronounce some names wrong. It's all about Romania. You'll see. So Vlad the Third was the son of ruler Vlad the Second,
What?
Dracul. I know. It's crazy. We're going to get into some history here. Dracul,
Uh-huh.
a name Vlad II was given when he was initiated into the Knightly Order of the Dragon.
Oh.
So Dracul was actually Vlad III's
And that's
dad.
where Dracula came from, because then he moved to France.
Well, listen to
Dracula?
this. Dracula means son of dragon.
Oh.
So Dracul is dragon. And so Vlad III was Dracula. Bram Stoker was struck by the word Dracula, which apparently means devil in Wallachian. Wallachian.
Not to be
from
confused with
Transylvania.
Valerian.
That's
Game of
right.
Thrones.
Yeah, Valerian. Yeah, I'm not that far. I just did the one episode. The theory that Dracula is really Vlad III came out in a book called In Search of Dracula. That was written in 1972, presumably when people did more drugs and believed what they read in the media.
And did more reading.
The order. The Order of the Dragon that Vlad's father was in was dedicated to repelling the Turkish Ottoman Empire. Wallachia, or Wallachia, it's with a W, but you know how they chomp on their W's in Wallachia, was situated at the border between Christian Europe and the Muslim Empire. That's the Ottomans.
Oh.
So in 1442, Vlad II was summoned to a diplomatic meeting with Sultan Murad II. Everybody's the second. Nobody's original.
No.
He brought his sons Vlad III and Radu with him, but it was a
That
trap.
was just his nickname.
They were trapped
his
in
real name is Vlad the Fourth.
Radu. It sounds like a skateboarder. They were trapped and held hostage. The elder Vlad was released, but the sons were held in captivity to ensure that Vlad II did the bidding of the Ottoman Empire. They were tutored in science, philosophy, and the arts. So it wasn't like real captivity. Yeah. They were getting lessons about
we call
art.
it university now.
Yeah, it felt like prison at times. They probably had better accommodations than my room at Studley House at Dal. In fairness, there was a lot of semen in that carpet that kept it very unpleasant.
Gross.
Vlad became a skilled horseman and warrior. Though they treated the brothers pretty well, Vlad hated the Ottomans for holding him in captivity. But Radu came around to their way of thinking. Fucking Radu. Meanwhile, Vlad II was ousted as ruler at home. He was killed by a group of noblemen in the swamps of Baltania. Baltani. I don't know. Look it up on a map. I'm not your geographer. I'm not your guide.
No one cares.
No one's listening.
No.
Vlad's other brother, Mircea, was killed alongside the father. In 1448, Vlad III returned with the support of the Ottomans and reclaimed his father's throne from Vladislav II.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, everybody's named Vlad. That's the Wallachian way. While Vladislav was fighting the Ottomans in the Balkans. However, 2 months later, he was deposed when Vladislav II returned with the support of John... I'm going to say Hyundai. It isn't. It's Hunyadi. We'll just call him Hyundai. The governor of Hungary. There are some funny country names. Hungary, Turkey. They should get together. Between 1448 and 1456, Vlad switched sides in the conflict, turning against the Ottomans and gaining the support of the King of Hungary, Ladislaus V, who hated Vladislav II.
Oh my god.
This is... You know what? You're getting smarter. Just let it happen. Just feel yourself getting smarter.
Well,
somebody will be like, who was the King of Hungary in 1456? You'll be like, actually, it was Ladislaus V. You never know. It could come up. In 1443, Constantinople, now called Istanbul, fell, and the Ottomans had a foothold to take all of Europe.
Vlad III on an Ottoman.
That's pretty good. Vlad III was pronounced Voivode of Wallachia. Voivode means ruler, I think. And in 1456, and immediately stopped paying peace offerings and annual tribute to the Ottoman Sultan.
So I think.
Oh, am I gone?
Just to sum up
the
story.
I can hear you.
It sounded like something was going to happen in 1452.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was going to say,
yeah.
In 1452, Vladimir impaled the pipe of poo.
Vladimir turned against the Mosque of Blue. Because the Blue Mosque in Constantinople, right? Fuck. Oh, son of a bitch. If any of these people saw an iPhone, this would have all immediately stopped. They'd be like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Just give us the phones. Okay, now Constantinople fell, blah, blah, blah. Fuck. Vlad III stopped paying peace offerings to the Ottoman Empire. Because there was a constant power struggle in Wallachia between the Voivode and the boyars, who were the noblemen, to consolidate power, Vlad invited hundreds of them to a feast of these noblemen. At the feast, he stabbed them and impaled them on spikes. He then rounded up dozens of Saxon merchants who had aligned with the boyars and had them impaled on spikes.
What for? Because they broke a treaty.
No, so these are the Wallachian noblemen who don't want Vlad to consolidate power with the government. They want to have power.
Right, so tell me about the impaling.
And they killed his father.
How did they do the impaling?
It wasn't through the ass, if that's what you're getting
Yeah.
at.
How did they do it? Because I thought they put you on a pole and through your ass, and then you just
No.
constantly slid down, 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 down until it came out your mouth.
No, that's what it looked like when they did it in that movie Cannibal Holocaust. But in the pictures I saw of this, and of course they're like old woodcut, fucking medieval drawings that look like they could be done by a kid in kindergarten with a really twisted mind. It looks like it's just through the back. And
right.
and he was like, I think he would dismember people too. He wasn't.
Did we go through
gentle.
a museum of torture?
You know where that was? There were two of them. One of them, medieval times in Florida. Definitely had a torture museum in the basement. And the other one was in London, England, at the Tower of London.
Yeah.
They had
That's the one.
the torture museum. They had the Iron Maiden
Yeah, that was
and
intense.
the rack.
And the one that got me was the hip splitter or something. It was like just a triangle, and they put one leg down each side of the triangle and just pulled.
Yeah,
Until you-
saw you in half.
Yeah.
There was also the breaking wheel, where they just put you on a wheel and break all your bones for some reason
Yeah.
until they can like weave you through the spokes of the wheel. I don't know. People are fucking idiots.
I mean, what information could they possibly have needed that badly back then?
I don't think it was for information. I think it was just they were bored. They didn't have iPhones,
Right.
and they were like, "Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
He's a witch. Fucking breaking wheel."
He's a witch.
Let's set him on fire. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know, Gov. I'd like to put some spikes through his eyes. You do it. Get the spike eyes. It's fine.
you know what we should do if you really like these spikes? We should do like a casket with all these spikes inside it, and we just like close people in it. That'd be cool, right? They're like, I don't know, you can't see the spike going in.
Oh, you know
No,
what?
but you can check it out after.
I had a rat go through a loaf of bread last night because it was too close to the fire. Oh, fuck, mate, that's a great idea. Get a bucket, put it on this bloke's chest. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see if a rat will eat through him.
Oh, fuck, he did. Do it again.
That was great.
Do it again.
That was really great. You're good at this, Bruce. You're a good torturer. Outstanding.
Oh,
really?
thanks, mate. You know, we've all got our little pleasures in life.
Look, I'm trying to pull my weight. I won't lie. I try to pull my weight. I'm not out fucking taking 2-hour lunches like Lenny. But there's something special about you, Bruce. There's something special. I didn't think of the rat. I never thought you could put a fucking rat through a person. You proved me wrong. Frankly, you proved me wrong.
Yeah, it just came to
You got
me.
you got a mind for
Oh,
this.
stop it. You're winding me up. You're winding me up.
You know what I'd like to do, just if we had the time, I'd like to like pin somebody to the ground, but underneath them plant like a bamboo shoot and just see if it like comes out through the fucking chest. You know what I mean? It grows like 3 inches a day, right? It would only take like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, you know
on
what?
the outside.
We'll do that. We'll call it rain or shine. Who says? It sounds happy. Oh, get old bloody Mickey, and we're going to give him the old rain or shine. Yeah. No, I like that idea. Let's do that.
You should patent that. We should patent that and put our names on
Yeah.
it, on the device. And then when the Spanish decide they need a device, we'll get like a royalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
We'll call it the
Bamboozled.
Yeah, Lenny and Bruce's bamboo device. Bamboozled. I like it.
Oh.
Do you hear the dog? Like living with a fucking wolf.
Right, so...
Anyway, back to
impaling.
Vlad. So a lot of people were impaled. A group of Ottoman diplomats sought a meeting with Vlad, but she's just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Just let
matter.
her-
Doesn't matter.
let her
None of
finish.
this matters.
Finish.
Vlad. So
Doing it on purpose.
these This group of Ottoman diplomats sought a meeting with Vlad, but when they met with him, they would not remove their turbans. He commended them on their religious devotion, and to ensure they could never remove them, had the turbans nailed to their heads.
Oh, nice.
Solid guy.
Yeah.
Solid gesture. Yeah. Yeah. When Mehmet II, who had won Constantinople, invaded Wallachia, he made it all the way to the capital city of Targovista, but he found the city abandoned. The bodies of all the Ottoman prisoners of war were impaled in front of the capital.
Could you imagine this smell?
Yeah. It would probably smell like... No, I'm not going to say it. Because of coronavirus, it would come across as racist. But I've been to some fucking places in Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Eventually, Vlad was captured by Mehmet, and his brother Radu, who was sympathetic to the Ottomans, was installed on the throne. In captivity, however, Vlad married and had 2 children. So again, I gotta say, at that time, being captured by the Ottomans...
Not so bad.
Not so bad. Just put your feet up. Because the Ottoman joke.
Yeah.
When Radu died, the local boyars called for Vlad III to be reinstalled as Voivode. I guess after he killed all the ones that he didn't like, he was left with the ones he did. Later that year, however, he was ambushed on his way to battle and killed. He is considered a hero of Romania. And what that means to me? Don't go to Romania. They're probably not nice people. They're probably like, yeah, he liked impaling.
Yeah.
But he consolidated power for Wallachia, and he's a hero. Anybody can be a hero in Romania. You have to really, really be a fuck up.
But I mean,
to not make hero status as a leader of Romania.
But they still have shrines to Joseph Stalin still too,
Is that Romania or is that Georgia? That's in Georgia, where Joseph Stalin was from.
I know.
They have a statue of him.
Yeah, well, no, they've got his whole body preserved.
No, that's Lenin.
Lenin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started, communism in
Yeah,
Russia.
yeah.
But Stalin, they do have, his house preserved and all that stuff. Oh, Siri's talking to me. Oh. Fuck off, Siri. But that would be weird. In Germany, the way they look at Hitler, they're like, oh, we're so ashamed.
Yeah.
that was unfortunate, and we're sorry.
Yeah.
We're still very sorry. Yeah. Anyway, but when you look at Stalin, they've still got the Stalin Museum, the Stalin statues, and he killed a fucking lot of people.
Yeah.
I would say 10 million, something in that vicinity. But there's, so the Romanians kind of lean maybe a bit more towards the,
dude.
I'm not saying the Romanians because, they would have fought against Joseph Stalin. I'm not saying that they're pro Hitler, pro Stalin. This was in the 1400s, and I understand that things were different back then. But Vlad the Impaler being a national hero is an odd choice.
Yeah.
Do they have a day off? Do they have Vlad the Impaler Day?
Well, they all have to sit
every
on
May
stools,
24th.
but they have to take the pan off. So
you have to turn the stool upside down. You sit 3 to a stool.
Yeah. Oh no!
Glory to Vlad the Impaler. It's in their national anthem. He puts a post through your head.
Yeah, I mean, they were happier times. Well,
it was different. It was just different.
That concludes episode. I've called this episode 101 because I've lost count.
Vlad
completely.
the Inhaler. I can tell you what episode we're on. Actually, hold the phone a minute because I have the podcast app. Let me see here.
It's really...
I don't know if you're gonna have to take some stuff out of this one before you put it up. I apologize.
No. I'll keep most of it in.
What's this podcast called? Oh, here it is. One Foot in the Grave. All right. See all episodes. So this would probably be season 3 still. Our last episode was on December 1st. It was called Safety Third.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that was a pretty funny episode. I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to go back and
remember
listen
that
to that one.
Yeah.
And the one before that was when we were together, October 29th, called For a Thumb.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one. Wash your hands.
Wow.
Don't forget to pull the skin back. Okay, now, listeners, go to One Foot in the Grave podcast.weebly.com. I've made
How do you
it
spell
so
Weebly?
Weebly.
Okay.
All the things are in the all the links are in the description. But then I've made the contact form anonymous, so you don't even have to put your email address in. You just make up a first name, and then you can send us your stories or request that we cover some stories. But it doesn't matter what you request. So nothing.
That's
is
not
too,
true. I could always use an idea for something to look into because I'm doing Vlad the Impaler from 1400s, for God's sake. If you got something better, just put it up there. I'll look into it.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm a fan of the aliens, as you know. I like weird mysteries. If anybody's seen a Sasquatch, let us know.
Oh, goodness. Let us know for sure. And then you can always just email us at onefootinthegravepodcast@gmail.com. So
That's right.
yeah.
Send us a cryptid corner. We haven't done one of those in a long time.
I don't even know any of them.
The
I was
cryptid
gonna-
corners? Well,
I
the
was
last
gonna-
time I looked up the beaver eater, that was about 3 years ago.
I was going to get the Sasquatch or something for the back of my motorcycle vest, but it was too
That
expensive.
would be hilarious.
So I went with the raccoon instead.
A raccoon.
Yeah. Do you remember that show, The Raccoons? I loved that show.
Yeah, it was on CBC.
Yeah, with Snirl
The bad guy's name was Cyril Sneer. And it just, you know what's funny? It's the paradigm, right? When I was a kid, I was like, fucking Cyril Sneer. Like, the raccoons are just trying to live in peace in the forest and prevent them from cutting down the forest and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, looking back on it, I'm like, Cyril Sneer was right. He was creating jobs. Fuck the raccoons.
No.
Stay in your
No.
lane, raccoons.
I'm still pro raccoon.
It's like I saw Jim Gaffigan the other day, and he was talking about the Dead Poet Society, and he's like, just to summarize the movie, the kid wants to be an actor. He does this great job in the play. The dad still hates him, and then the kid commits suicide. And I just want to point out, the dad was right. Don't let your kids be actors.
Jeez. But for real.
Yeah. Really, really, don't let them go into acting.
Make them go to university. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you when we do the next one. Probably in the next week or so, because I'll want to try out my new microphone.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back on track with these.
Okay.
I look forward to them. Also, say hi to Mum for me.
Yeah.
And-
Well, yeah. She'll
Yeah.
come soon.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
good, dude.
TTFN.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye. Bye.